Okay, so you noticed me not worrying about the negative sign in those examples. Strictly, price elasticity of demand is always negative because when price goes up, quantity goes down. That's the law of demand. Economists don't like the hassle of negative signs, honestly, and so most of the time we just drop the negative sign. The textbook does it formally by taking the absolute value of the price elasticity of demand, and that's effectively what I did as well by just dropping the negative sign. So that's fine for you guys to do. Just keep in mind that on the homework and on exams, it may want you to include a negative sign for other elasticity exercises. For the price elasticity of demand ones, because the book uses the absolute value signs, you're going to be safe to just put everything in positive terms. Okay, so then let's say we've got price elasticities like this, 4, 1, and 1/4. What can we say about them? Well, we have these definitions for the elasticity of a product depending on what price elasticity of demand we calculate for it. So when this value is bigger than 1, when the price elasticity is bigger than 1, we say that demand is elastic. And what we're thinking of here is elasticity in terms of like sensitivity, in terms of responsiveness. What we're saying here is that if the price elasticity is bigger than 1, let's go back up to our definition of price elasticity here, it means that if this is bigger than 1, then the percentage change in quantity is bigger than the percentage change in price. So we're getting a large quantity change for a given price change. On the other hand, if we get a small quantity change for a given price change, if the percentage change in quantity is smaller than the percentage change in price, we say that that demand is inelastic. It's relatively unresponsive to price changes. So here's an example of a couple of demand curves, one of which would be elastic. That's this guy here. And we can tell that this one's more elastic because it's flatter. For the same change in price, we get a relatively large change in quantity on the green curve here. On the purple curve, same change in price, we get just a small change in quantity. So what this is telling us is that just by looking at the demand curve, we're going to have at least some idea about what the elasticity is. Now I've got a question down here that's a little bit weird to think about. Suppose you're running a gas station. Would you prefer to have demand curve A or demand curve B? Let's think about how that would work. For demand curve A, pretty much no matter what the price is, people are going to buy about the same quantity. Now, so what that would mean is you could jack up the price, right? Because people are still going to buy your product. So that's a plus for an inelastic demand curve. What about an elastic demand curve? Would that be a bad thing? Well, it would be a bad thing if we were looking at raising prices, because as we raise price, we lose lots and lots of customers. But on the other hand, what if we were thinking about lowering our price? Then we gain lots and lots of customers. So really, it's not a elastic or inelastic thing here. What's really the case is that it depends on whether you're looking at raising price or lowering price. If you're looking at raising price, then you'd want to have an inelastic demand curve. If you're looking at lowering price, you would want to have an elastic demand curve.